Hey everyone, Brandon here in the Aputure studio, and we're here today to talk with one of our closest friends and collaborators, Kazu Okuda, who is an amazing product cinematographer, shooting for brands like Tom Ford, Bulgari, and of course, Aputure. Every single robotic product shot you've ever seen in an Aputure commercial was shot by Kazu right here. So today we're gonna dive into his story, some tips and tricks he has to share, and of course his experience with the MT Pro. Hey Kazu, how you doing?
Oh, thanks for having me.
So, how did you get started in your cinematography career? You've been doing this for a long time now.
I used to be a studio engineer, mixing sound and music. Some of the camera guys that I knew that were freelancing, I used to give them tips, and they started teaching me camera stuff. The producer of the show asked them if they have anybody who they recommend to fill in. They're like, yeah, well, why don't you ask Kazu? I started working for this company, and they would just send me out to all these dangerous trips, post-earthquakes, war, and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I got to slow down a little bit. Somebody recommended me this still life photographer. He was working with these colossal budgets. The shooting conditions I was in was actually not normal. I actually learned what things cost and try to find a way to execute with the same mindset and train of thought, but at a much smaller scale. It's not about how much money I have to spend to make a shot. It's what do I want to accomplish in the shot. Little by little, I think in the matter of the next few years, I kind of started developing a portfolio and a body of work that I felt is a representation of what I do.
So you've taken that embodiment of, I only want to do work that I can contribute to and that it's something that I can do and that someone else can't do, and applied that to basically your entire portfolio and style of cinematography.
I had a realization point in cinematography. We had a good budget for a short and I over-executed. I completely failed the director that I took it on my own to make this thing look the way I wanted to without respecting the storytelling side. My job is not to tell the story. My job is to facilitate and elevate telling the story that the director wants to tell. Brands are really split between how they want metallics and especially golds to look like. A lot of brands want metallic to look more chrome, more shiny. Gold can look a little greenish or a little reddish. Gold always leans towards reddish orange. That differs from brand to brand.
Speaking about that, like when working with directors and working with clients and facilitating their visions, what goes into your creative process?
The first thing is finding out what's wrong, what they don't want to show, before we find out what they want to express.
So highlighting their product in the best way by downplaying any imperfections they don't want to show.
I try to do everything much as possible in camera. I talk to my gaffers and my team. We set up everything. I look at the distance. With product, I just look where the camera's supposed to be. But when I'm lighting people, I stand where they're supposed to be. You can see a lot of things you might not see if you just keep looking at a screen. By looking at it, you can come up with additional ideas and angles. And then when I feel comfortable enough to finesse, I turn the camera on. A lot of times I just take my phone camera, kind of move it around, try to take a look at it to audition some camera moves. And then I share that with the director. And then we decide which ones we like and pitch those moves and then put them in the storyboards. I actually like camera movements to be pretty simple. I like 2-point moves, A to B. I think simplicity is key. A lot of brands want to look more shiny. You have to approach it from a harder lighting standpoint. To execute that, I need things to be less soft.
Texture is really important. That hard light is actually more important than the soft light in order to capture that texture.
I try to think of like a bottle or a product as if it's a person, Okay, so it's a whiskey bottle. If I'm trying to light just the texture of this, I need a small source. I have to be able to backlight this, being able to get close enough, tuck it away, but small enough to light just this texture here, but not spill here. If I wanted to get this beautiful highlight here across the whole side of the bottle, I need a larger source than whatever I used here.
I imagine because you're shooting all these product stuff that are physically smaller than humans, that those become kind of proportionally properly sized sources.
A half white with a 300 is a very good starting point as far as balance goes. I think this new toy that I got here, the MT Pro, to be honest, I've only used it on 2 shoots so far. but it's been indispensable. I really like the Sidus app as a complement to DMX, not as a DMX replacement. A lot of lights this size doesn't have the simplicity and the controls as much as this one does.
And I love the way that you're dissecting it too, like kind of looking at it from the lens and perspective of someone who is staring at products all day, other people's products.
Well, there's so many products out now, you have to actually decide what to spend your money on and what to really look at,
How do you see yourself being able to use the functionality and the 36 pixels that we packed into the MT Pro?
No, it really opens up a lot more ideas, honestly. Instead of it just being a tool, I think it can actually be a catalyst for new lighting scheme ideas.
How do you treat colors and reflectivity when you're lighting on set because of this? I imagine reflections are really, really important in the line of work you do.
This allows you to light by surface. You could kind of think of this as a diffusion plus a bunch of lights inside. Approaching color is like enhancing the color. It's about making it look better. It's not about making it look like something it's not. My job is to have solutions. And I think this provides me with a few solutions for stuff I haven't encountered yet.
Well, thanks for talking so much about the MT Pro. I think one of the last questions I have for you, what advice do you have for new filmmakers, beginning filmmakers, aspiring filmmakers who are interested in the world of commercial product cinematography?
I think the very first thing you should do is study work that you like and dislike, and really ask yourself why you like it and why you don't like it. It helps you develop a taste, and I think it can guide you for your own journey to figure out what your own lighting style is and what you want to do. You have to like something. I think the worst thing you can do is just be on a set and light something and not sure if it looks good. And I think it's really important that you reset yourself after every shoot. You don't form a basic approach to things. I think the most important thing is to approach every shoot as if it's a brand new shoot.
I mean, that's all fantastic advice that I wish that I had learned a little bit earlier myself, like when I was getting started. I think a lot of people will appreciate what you just had to share.
I also like to thank you guys because you guys have kind of been on the journey with me for quite a while.
But you've also been with us giving feedback on every single product and shooting all the high-end product cinematography for all our commercials and elevating it to a new standard that I don't think we would have been able to achieve as quickly without you. So with that, I say thank you one more time and see you next time.